I just took a post on our page.
Oh, nice one. Cool.
Yeah, I'll share it as well.
So we're here on the Band on Band this Sunday with Shrapnel. Sup, dudes?
Hey!
Fuck yeah. Hello, mate. How the fuck are we all doing?
Good, man. Not too bad at all.
Aaron's slamming down the port already.
Yeah.
Monday, mate. It's a Lord's Day.
What's everyone drinking? What are you on, Nathan? What's that?
On the Guinness.
Genius. Nice one.
Yeah, my missus brought me home an 8-pack.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
She love you.
So
There's a reason why you.
Hey.
There's a reason why you're.
decent, isn't it?
She's what a go. What a go.
So,
Oh, where do you find her?
I only got,
yeah, so
I got 4 cronies, but you know,
Oh,
cronies.
well.
I'm working on her. She went to the shop for me, so you know that's something.
Well,
It's a reliable drink. It's a good drink, man.
I don't
It's
know.
alright.
I'm
I don't
not
mind
a
it.
fan of a crony.
Cheeky crony.
Not for me, man.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
It's good
Yeah.
Sunday beer. Sunday beer is good because it doesn't do anything, does it?
Oh, yeah, a bit like a Carlsberg.
Yeah, a bit like Carlsberg.
Might as well drink
Oh,
lemonade.
that's piss water, isn't it?
It's
And all-
fucking rank.
An all-day beer.
So, okay, right. So that's probably the first question I can ask you guys. Then, what is your go-to beer?
Oh,
What is your go-to?
It's Guinness. It's turned into Guinness.
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 So I was like
Guinness.
Yeah.
I was a huge ale fan, massive British ales fan. And then a couple of years ago, gone off it, and Guinness is my new vice.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, all day. Not all day. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just the next day when you have to shit that stuff out. Like.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, look, your shit looks like Darth Vader's cousin, man.
Yeah. He had a cousin. I don't remember.
What about
that.
you, Aaron? Apart from the
Uh,
random bottle of port you find.
Apart from the
Saint.
random, so I had no Guinness in, but my tipple is Guinness, like all day. Well, not all day again. But yeah, I was the same as Dave, man. I used to slam back like real ales, like they were nothing, and then like
Yeah.
I sort of like hit mid-20s, and I looked at my stomach and was like, "Oh fuck this, man, I can't do this."
Yeah, dude, it's hard.
So you have like a kebab afterwards, after like a night out on the sesh. You just look at yourself and you look like yogurt in a black bag.
Yeah, mate.
Fuck this.
That's what I look like, man. It's just bad news. It's bad news all around. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm,
so,
I want to get it.
Chris, come on, man. What are you drinking?
Yeah.
What's your
I
go-to
don't
drink?
drink beer.
You don't drink beer?
Jack Daniels.
JD, fuck. The hard shit.
Mate, you've been remarkably
choice.
disciplined.
I was going to say he's a drummer. He needs to be fit.
Mate,
Yeah.
he's been stone cold sober for most of lockdown.
It's
Oh,
weird.
really?
Yeah, because
No,
I
what's
think,
wrong
I
with
think the
you?
latest memory I have of Chris, well, before lockdown, was him getting absolutely battered on JD and ripping a radiator off the wall. That-
Tell us that story,
Just
Chris.
because.
That was good.
I smashed her a 750 litre bottle, like 2.5 hours
Oh,
recording.
God.
But I'm just going to go for a piss now, and I just walked into the wall and I just smashed the radiator. And then
you
I
say
just
walked
tried
into the
to-
wall.
You're just that
I
hench. She
just
flicks
wanted
the.
the light
Like a
on
ghost.
Before I knew it, 3 hours had gone past.
Oh, God.
I
That's
heard
the
you weren't
way.
a very well boy either after that.
Nah,
Lost
you really
memories.
get hangovers, but yeah, he was a mess. Good times.
I think that's a drummer's thing, though.
Wait,
I
you
mean,
boys?
go-to beers. Shit. At the minute, a lot of Ghost Ship. A lot of
Oh,
a lot of
Ghost Ship was
admins.
great, to be fair.
A lot of Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
it's a decent one off tap as well. It's like one of the ones that you can rely on
Yeah.
from the tap. It's gonna be fucking rad.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like you, Aaron, I used to love my craft beers, man. So, I fucking stupidly before Christmas, I invested in BrewDog as well, so I get a discount on BrewDog. So,
Okay.
like every weekend, you're like, yeah, get on the app, get that delivered. What's that? 6 cans of Elvis juice? Oh yeah. But it's bad news all around, man.
There's a.
Have you ever
Brewdog
been
dog
sick
literally near
on-
our house.
Have you ever been sick on BrewDog though? Because it tastes the fucking same when you're being sick.
Does it?
Grim.
So I call it Spew Dog.
Oh,
Oh, puns, mate. Puns.
this is where I need my soundboard. Where's my soundboard? Damn it.
You're not going to get endorsed.
Damn it, yeah. I don't know. That sounds kind of good. I think I need to drink more BrewDog then. If it tastes the same coming up, then like the next day, I don't have to replenish.
It's like McDonald's, yeah.
Yeah, just puke
Like
it up.
when you burp at McDonald's, it tastes the same, doesn't
Oh.
it? It's the same with BrewDog. Because it does have a sickly sort of taste to it, doesn't it? It's
The problem
got a
is, just like
sharp-
McDonald's, you don't have time to burp because it's usually coming out the other end. That stuff's like laxatives.
Mate, McDonald's is really disappointing because you spend like 15 quid on it, you smash it down, and then you're like, you have a belch and you're like, oh, I'm hungry again.
Yeah,
It's gone in it.
it's just nothing in it.
Nah.
It's fucking terrible. But yeah, they're terrible. And why on earth? Like, I don't. Once again, it seems to be like every time I play a gig, I'll always have McDonald's afterwards. I don't know why. I don't know what goes through my thought process.
Lethal.
It's
I don't know.
He's back. No, he's gone.
Hey, oh,
He's gone.
we lost
He's
Chris.
got some internet issues, bless him.
Oh, damn.
He said, net issues I have. I'm
said,
looking at stills like you all had strokes.
Oh, well, that's just me, mate. Don't worry. It's all cool.
Yeah, he's back. Great.
He's
Cool,
gone,
man.
fuck this shit. They're talking bollocks. Come on, look, fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I can't be dealing with this shit.
I was
McDonald's.
just looking at stills of all of you then, like you've had a fucking stroke.
As I said, like, we just look like it anyway. So, it's
No,
all
we don't
good.
usually.
I'm pretty
We
sure
don't
over
usually
my
go for food.
life I've had one.
We don't usually go for food after a show. I can't really recall a time when we've played a show and gone for food. Usually it's just get more wasted, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
okay.
moved that way, isn't it?
Especially me and Nath. Fucking like Chris are usually the sensible ones. Are like, oh, we've got to drive, and instead of me and Nath being like, nice, being like, okay, we won't drink too much. We just get fucking
Yeah,
plastered.
you got to do it though. You know, it's a free ride, man. Like, if that option's there, you got to go for it.
When
Chris's
you're
face.
in a van and you're like going from place to place, the only way you're going to get to sleep is if you get fucking annihilated. In my experience, it's like, you got fucking 5 men in a fucking cramped little fucking space and you're trying to spoon each other. Of course you got to be pissed to do it.
You say that, right? But apparently, according to these boys, as soon as I get in a van, I'm asleep anyway. So
You are, yeah, mate.
yeah, I have like narcolepsy. As soon as it's like time for tour, it's like
Just out like a light.
wake up, play the show, get cunted, sleep now.
Yeah, I can't
Have you found your drinking intake has increased during lockdown, or are you like Chris up here?
Yeah, I'm the total opposite of Chris, mate. Trust me. Like, he's good at drums, he's sober. I'm always drunk and shit at drums. So, yeah,
Dream team.
yeah, dream team.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
beauty of drum programming, isn't it? So you can pretend you're a fucking good drummer and use lockdown to go like, fucking look at this, I've really improved.
Oh, Jim, why did you have to
on-
tell this in fucking on Twitch in front of everyone? Everyone's going to turn up to our gigs and see that I just mime all the time. Fuck.
I don't know.
It's gone, Sean.
I-
Your career is gone.
Oh, it's gone a long time ago. Sorry, Aaron.
I don't know. I think, yeah, mainly because I'm not
Yes.
working now. If I'm going to be honest, yeah, because I'm not working. Usually I'm pretty strict when I'm at work. I won't drink until it's a weekend because, whatever. But yeah, I've been sinking them back pretty bad, to be fair.
Good work.
You're like,
Go to
well,
my
I've been drinking
fucking-
more. He says with a bottle of port he found in the sink.
In the cistern of the toilet, yeah.
For 4 cans, it's like $3.99 for 4 cans of
Aw.
Guinness in Aldi. I'm like, fucking
Nice,
yes, mate.
Yeah, boy.
I know.
Make a double.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, I suppose, talk a bit of tech. What guitar stuff are you using at the minute, Aaron?
Me,
Yeah, man.
she's Jackson, Kelly Bird bass. I've got multiple guitars. The only one on view that, if you can see it, is a Solar V there.
Yeah.
I got,
we have a
I
look
got
at
that in
that?
the first. Yeah, of course you can. I got that in the first batch when they released. I thought I'd try it out. Guitar plays lovely. Pickups, fucking dog shit, if I'm honest.
Really?
Yeah, not good at all. So there you go. That's that.
Nice.
But yeah, the pickups
nice.
are like they're kind of weak for passives, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it's
know, I think Simon was looking at solar guitars, so
I would recommend getting them,
Yeah.
100%, but change the pickups out. Like put some blackouts in it or some bare knuckles, because
All right.
they're great if you want to be like, I'm gonna be in a Pantera's cover band. But apart from that, they're really, really weak. But yeah,
I want to be in a Pantera's covers band.
yeah, sign me up.
Jackson Kelly Bird. This is the one that Jackson actually sent to me. So that's
Nice.
that's it. That's been battered about on tour.
Nice.
Yeah, and in the cupboard I've got a few others. I've actually got quite a rare one, which is nice. It's a Jackson RR24 from 2006, but there was like a mess up at the factory where the inlays were put on the wrong way around,
Oh shit.
and only 75 of them got released.
And you have
And
one
I've
of
got
them?
one.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've got one.
Lucky ticket.
Yeah, and yeah, I know. Apart from that, I've got like a piece of shit BC Rich and
Don't you get
LCD
confused
and
and start playing it upside down?
I've got to learn to play it first. What about you guys?
Yeah.
What are you playing, Camille?
Yeah, I'm using Ibanez Prestige, and in that model I had a EMG 18707. Yeah. However, I
Yeah.
changed that for a 897, and then I was using Polish pickups, Marlin, the passive one, and
Okay.
then I just changed in other guitar pickups for another EMG. So basically, I'm just playing now on EMGs, yeah, only.
I like
Yours-
EMGs. Yeah.
Yours is custom built though, isn't it? Your Ibanez one.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Show off.
custom
Very nice.
build.
Yeah.
Nice.
with
Yeah,
that.
it's got like this little. The only thing that's custom about it really is the fact that the jack isn't on the end; it's sort of like underneath, and like it's got a little groove cut out.
Oh, is it sort of like this one? So like,
Yeah.
thin. You've got like
Yes.
the jack.
Yeah, that's
there,
it,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
That is fucking genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a simple thing, but it just saves so many fucking guitars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Life changing.
I
Wait,
can't
Basically,
remember
wait.
what you call it, a Kamalski or something, isn't it?
Zhukowski, yeah, Zhukowski.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky. Yeah, I know that guitar brand.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dudkowski Ibanez.
What about you, Nate? Go on, you must be. What have you been playing for the last 8 years?
Oh, reliable, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, reliable.
Same old. Yeah. I fucking
LTD
hate
1000.
gear. Yeah.
EMG.
I'll go wrong.
So
I,
I
I,
got
bought, I bought a guitar when I was like 18, and it's the same one, and I like it, so I use that.
Love it.
I just use
Yeah.
whatever
It sounds good.
works in a recording, you know.
Funny story about that guitar. So when we played Sweden before the first lockdown, you know, we got all the gear and stuff. We bought we bought a seat for the instruments, and obviously the guitars have to go through the scanner. And Nate's guitar's that old and held
Yeah.
together with that much grime that when it went through the scanner, it got flagged as having bomb material on it. so Nate, they were like, two guys come up to Nate and they're like, "You need to come with us." And he's like, "What the fuck?" We don't know what
shit.
happened there. We don't know what happened there. He hasn't talked about it much.
These two dudes,
Oh,
this
dear.
huge, like this beast of a dude took me into this little white room, and I was kind of laughing because it's kind of funny. Like, oh yeah, we found like explosive material on your guitar. I'm like, yeah, you have.
Yeah, whatever,
And he
mate.
took me to this little room, and the dude was like, can you sit down? And I kind of realized they were pretty serious, and I was like seriously, that it's not a bomb, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just a guitar.
Oh fuck. Yeah. And then he emptied my clothing out and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is bad.
Oh god.
I heard he emptied Uranus out
Yeah, I'd
as
say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say.
Didn't empty out, he filled it
Pants
up.
stayed on. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Clean the guitars before you go to an airport.
It's literally, it's like, did they say what it was then? Was it just like shit on the fretboard?
Don't know, some elements, God knows. Like,
It was like some
C4.
'cause it was like some he's just got a claymore strapped to the back of it. But it was something that was used to make explosives or something.
Probably like they probably
obviously-
looked at the coils of the pickups and thought like, oh yeah, that's a bomb.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe why.
it's a
Fucking
mess.
idiots.
Dude, it's like, no, you can see it. It's just like crusty and rusted, and there's stuff growing on it. So
Ew.
That's a bomb.
it's fine. It's a bomb.
Put it
Most
down.
importantly,
Put it down, step away
It
from the
does
bomb.
have a picture of Richard Pryor.
It
Have
does.
It does have a picture of Richard Pryor on it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Chris, what about your drum gear, man?
Two. The Lars kit.
Yeah.
The Tama Grandstand.
Yeah, that sick like Tama double bass, like that looks just like Lars's kit. Is it literally a replica or?
Yeah, so the Lars kit is an Art Star 2 signature of his that he toured with.
He toured with Bon Jovi in the 80s. Yeah.
Worldwide.
Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty. As far as I know, I'm the only UK owner as well.
Oh fuck! How did you come about that kit?
How did I get it?
Yeah.
I saw it on eBay. The guy who was in Wolverhampton selling this kit. I think it was sort of surreal, really. So I rang him up. I said, "Would you take money for it now, mate? You know, buy it now."
Yeah.
And he went, "Yeah, all right. I'll $2,000, I think, in the end."
That's
Yeah,
fucking
hell, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, for like something like that that's insane. I mean, I remember seeing I think Roy Mayorga's touring kit was for sale when he's with Stone Sour, a white DW collector's kit about 5 years ago, and they wanted like $4,000 for it. And it's, you know, it's only like a 1 up, 2 down, so you know.
DW though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's EW, yeah. Which yeah. We're not going to talk too much about drums because Jim gets really pissy when we talk about drums.
Yes, I do.
He probably throws his toys out the pram. So,
but I do remember seeing you, Chris, at a workshop, I think at Cook's Band Instruments in Norwich. And yeah, I was really impressed. That was some time ago. Yeah, it was some time ago. And yeah, I think they were doing this thing in Cook's where you could book yourself a session in there, and you had a pretty big crowd as well, I seem to remember. Do you remember doing that?
That was the that was. They did a few clinics featuring local drummers promoting certain brands. That time I drummed it.
Yeah, that's right.
It was me.
Oh.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Phil Collins.
Lionel Richie as well.
Give it a restart, Chris. I think that's God again, mate.
I think
Nate,
you need to get drunk, mate. When you get drunk, all the like things go together easier.
Played with Bon Jovi at Cooks.
Nath, we've got Kim in the chat asking when our next single is out. Do you want to answer that? Because scheduling has gone way beyond anything that I can understand anymore.
It was December, and then it was January, and then it was February. So I'm assuming it's not going to be March. So April.
Cool, April. Because you brought out you brought out a single.
Not too distant to very distant future.
In the not so very distant future.
Yeah, the next equinox. Keep your ears to the ground.
Yeah.
It's nothing like being specific, is there? A bit like when our album's coming out.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
that's meant to be out in 2017.
I know. Nate said to me the other day, he was like, "Dude, I fucking love the latest single. Like, you guys need to get an album together." I was like, "Yeah, good luck with that." It ain't gonna happen.
That's the Are You With Me single, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that because Nate was like fucking blah, 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 and it's like, dude, check out the new Hedra single, and I was just like, all right, cool, check that out, and I was just like, fucking hey, man,
oh,
this
thanks,
is
man.
fucking well good.
Oh,
it's decent.
Shucks. Shucks.
Proper catchy hooks as well. Whatever you did there, do more of that shit.
More of that shit. Keep it going. Keep it going.
More of that shit.
I mean, it's an interesting one. Like, do you know what? Like, when I first joined the band, because I've been less than a year with the guys, and when they said they was releasing that song, I was like, man, I don't think that's our strongest song. Like, I don't think it should be a single. But then, like, the more I listened to it, it's a total grower. And when you kind of, obviously, after having a chat to Jim and like talking a little bit about the lyrics and what the lyrics about, like, I fucking love it, and it's so much fun to play. So fun.
Yeah.
We often find that we have to sit on songs for ages before anything gets done with them. So
Yeah.
I mean, this new single has been demoed since way before Christmas.
Halloween.
And then
we started.
Halloween
Really?
we started it. Yeah, I mean, it's been a difficult thing for us because we never like to write the same song or like the same album again.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're like always trying different things, you know, since even before I was in the band. But we've been like really fucking about with this one. Oh my god.
We've been fucking about for our songs. We've been fucking around for like 4 years, I think now, and it Camille, the album that we're putting together has taken us fucking 4 years. mainly because of
Yeah.
the amount of cunts that come in the band and then fuck off again. So like we record
Dropping the
something,
C-bomb.
we record something, and then like they leave the band, so we wipe it and start again, or try and find a bassist, which was what the most majority of the band has been like through fucking 8 or 9 fucking bassists, about 7 drummers, and it's just because we're kind of like we've got this vision of what we want, and people come into it and then they go, I don't really like what you're doing here, so I'm going to leave, instead of trying to sort it out so that you're happy in the band. So we've always struggled with that in this band, but hopefully now we're all right, because Sean's managed to stay in it for what, a year now.
No, I think it was June last year. But
June was. You got a little while to leave then.
Yeah, a little while before I leave. Yeah, thanks, mate. Fuck you too, Jim.
do what these guys did. Just get a guitarist and just wear them down enough to the point. Just abuse them and get them pissed enough that eventually they'll be like, "Yeah, all right, I'll play bass."
Yeah, fuck it, yeah.
And then instantly, after about 6 months of being in the band, realise it's the biggest mistake of your life.
Listen,
yeah, we're trying that with Simon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Simon, what's your?
Yes.
I don't think you answered what your favourite tipple is. No, see, no, fuck it. There's no getting through to him.
He don't have one. It's just whatever comes along.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Cough
If
syrup.
it smells like ethanol, I'll have it.
That's why he doesn't say
respect
much.
I respect that.
Hello.
Fucking pickle 24/7. Yeah.
How's the port straight from the bottle, mate?
You know what? This has been I think it's been sitting there since Christmas. It's all right, innit?
It looks like it's going down a tree, man.
That is, and it's worrying because I'm on camera.
That's all right.
But yeah, mate, that's
You can talk to us.
It's full, it's mature, it's piss.
It's very debonair. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have a change because like me and Nate are just smashing Guinnesses all the time. So Chris is tall Chris is exactly the same. He's always on Guinness as well. It's quite a nice change. It's quite a nice change.
It's always nice to mix it up a little bit.
It's sweet. Yeah.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Loving
What about you guys then? What have you been up to with your latest? Because you released that single. You released Are You With Me? And I was like, this is one of the best songs I've heard in a while. I really enjoyed it. It's fine.
Appreciate
credit where it's due. But like, what are you guys doing now? Like after you've released that single, have you got another single you're working on or anything like that?
We've got EPs we're working on, haven't we? With covers and shit on. We've got
nice.
We've still got the album to go through. We've got 12 songs, 4 of those of which were released as kind of demos, really. But we're redoing the whole guitar thing and bassing and trying to make it like more of a live feel than what was recorded originally, because we didn't really feel that it came across in clarity as well as it should have done. So we're still working on that, and we're doing an EP of 5 songs just to kind of keep the momentum going, that again are all different. And what we try and do is we try and make every song completely different to the next. So like, hopefully it appeals to a wider audience in some way.
I mean, that's an issue obviously we have playing thrash. It's the same. Like your audience is very like down the line. It's like, do you like thrash? Cool, then you like this band. Do you like mellow death? You're not going to like this band.
Yeah, for sure. You can't really branch out like too far from the fucking main road, right?
It's weird though, like finding your sound, evolving it, but still retaining what makes you for musicians, like at the core.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
since you came into it, Aaron, I think the sound has really changed actually, compared to when Jay was in the band.
Definitely. Yeah.
No. I disagree with that. I think if anything, it's pushed you more towards the commercial side of thrash in a way. If there is such a thing as a commercial side of thrash, I suppose there is. But I think you're sort of leaning more towards the kind of the big 4 era than say like you know, the underground Bay Area side, of which I think you fitted well with before. I think you've really kind of honed that sort of sound that people want now.
I don't know if it's that. I think we did something right. So I don't know what it was. You know, we didn't have a lot of time at all. 2 or 3 months to write the lyrics for the album and get it in the studio and recorded. So, but we definitely sort of struck gold with this. Like, it's propelled us into, you know, being an underground thrash band to being one of
Like
the bigger
a name,
UK bands.
you know? Yeah,
one of the bigger
yeah.
UK bands in that sort of extreme scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but what we're trying to do now is obviously, you know, branch out a little bit, not necessarily stop the thrash, but like you say, you always try and make something that appeals to wider audiences. And Nath has like slaved for nearly a year trying to come up with this new sound and this new beast, but also still trying to make it Shrapnel. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but thank you for the compliment though.
Yeah,
no, not at all, man. Not at all. I say, you know,
I mean,
really
you
do,
have got a
you know.
signature sound.
Yeah.
I think from now on, I think that will last. Obviously, as long as you guys all stay together and keep doing it. I think, like, I honestly, I love Jay. Don't get me wrong. I've been friends with Jay for a long time, but I think this is your future, definitely. In what I've heard is amazing. And I'm wearing the last album's t-shirt. Look, tonight.
That's my favorite album as well. I prefer the Razor.
I love that album. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was so good. I bought a bundle.
Nice one.
I don't know if you got the money from it because it was from that fucking shitty website that went.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Of course we did. It paid for that port.
We were like one of six people. Yeah, that album was an interesting, because I love that album, but it was everything around it was shit. Basically.
Oh really?
Everything sucked. Yeah, that was horrible. Like every time I see it, I always just feel like, oh man.
In what way? Like, you know, does it kind of bring back like bad memories, or is it, you know, like the process like, almost of it? And
yeah, like I mean, literally almost the day it came out, I moved here to Oxford. Chris moved to Austria. Our drummer moved to the US. Literally, I think the week it came out, he moved to the US for 6 months. We didn't play a show supporting that album until the following year. The label weren't there. They were so Candlelight just got bought out by Spine Farm.
Yeah.
So they were moving offices from here in Oxford actually to London exactly at that period. So they weren't there.
So it was just a complete kind of logistical.
Everything. Yeah. So I mean, the difference with this album was like, you know, and then people would think about leaving. And like basically every bad thing that could happen happened, and then kind of on the next one, everything kind of lined up nicely. Everyone was on the same page. The label had been behind us.
Yeah, sweet.
We've been briefly able to tour for a little while before.
And like you're saying, like Aaron was saying, obviously on the kind of lead up to that album, it sounded like you had like a very short period of time to kind of get it done. And as you say, like you struck gold with it, obviously in hindsight. Do you maybe feel like that short period of time kind of gave you that almost like that spontaneity that comes with music, and that maybe that's what came out?
Like the actual writing of it took a good couple of years. So me and Chris were working on it for quite a while.
Okay.
I think even some of the stuff came from before Chris actually rejoined the band. There was a few ideas. So the actual process of it took a long time. It was more, you know, Jay left, Kai left, and then Aaron came in. And that point where Aaron came in, things kind of changed up a lot. And then we had, you know, we suddenly found this producer through Aaron. It was like, right, we're going in like 3 months. So it was a case of taking all this material we had, really shaping it into a record really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was like the sessions were different, weren't they? It was like usually everything's done. It was fully done, and this time,
yeah. I mean, the way I remember,
wasn't it?
Yeah, the way I remember it is very different. Like I remember, you know, coming in, you got all these demos done, and they were quite, you know, like mid-paced, sort of like thrash stuff. And you know, I was like, oh, you know, maybe the song needs some more rages, more slammers, you know. Like, give me some 16ths. And we did that, but we were writing songs all the way up until the point the drums were being recorded. So the track "The Mace" was written in the hotel room on the day the drums were being recorded, and recorded on drums the next day.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, it was
Wow.
it was really like on the nose
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
were doing with this album because we didn't know, essentially we were I'd filled in for a tour for these guys. And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh fuck, right, we're in the
Yeah, we
album.
need
We
this
hadn't
album.
really had a chance to gel properly.
Yeah.
And over the
I
course of
hated
that album,
recording that song.
yeah, I bet, because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, just fucking, what do I do?
Yeah, I
Ah,
think
thrash
that was
beat, mate.
that. That was the
But
16th track in 5 days that I was recording in the middle of.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna say, you literally just turn up, like, have a
Halfway
metronome.
through,
That's
my
it.
brain just kept going.
Yeah, I
Kept
can
going on
imagine.
me, and I was getting so stressed. Like, oh, I just want to fuck off now. I want to go home.
that was the whole
No,
process
you're
of that
almost
album.
there.
That was that like second to last day. We were kind of listening through what we'd done so far, and it's like it's just too slow. It's quite a long record. It's like an hour long. We're like, it doesn't need another little
Yeah.
3-minute burst of speed. And I was like, mate, do you fancy doing another song? And he was like, oh,
Like, you're
fuck off.
fucking kidding.
yeah.
What's it like working with Russ Russell then? Because he's someone I've always wanted to record with, but I've
Yeah,
never
I've heard
had the
nothing but good
opportunity
things
to
about
do.
Russ.
So he didn't do the new one, but he obviously did the first
Oh,
two and an EP
oh.
with us. But he was awesome, man. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, can you
But
tell
again,
us a
that
little
was
bit
one of the
about like
things-
some of the stories and like and how the chemistry was with him?
Guinness. That's where
Guinness.
the love of Guinness.
That's where it
Right,
started.
okay. There's a theme to
Mate,
this.
That's your Guinness ticket.
Man, we should
I mean,
like, you need to approach Guinness and be like, Shrapnel, sponsored by Guinness.
I would
yeah, dude.
fucking
Like, it was-
sell my soul for that. shit.
yeah.
Fuck a string endorsement. Just feed me beer. On
Yeah.
God.
That first record was that was an interesting one. We did it. We basically stayed with him for a month in the studio. It
Really?
was like me, Chris, and Chris Martin, the other guitarist. Me, him, and Russ for a month, just pulling the whole
Oh,
thing
man.
together. Man. And it costs a bit,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
he gives it back. He gives you back, in time. Dude works from like 10 in the morning till 3 o'clock the next morning, like every
Shit,
single
yeah.
day. I don't know how he does it. He's a fucking robot. He really is insane.
Yeah.
But every day a new crate on his shoulder, on his bike, coming in. Like, here you go,
Like
lads.
it.
And then just that for a month. It's awesome.
dude.
But again, the thing with the second album, why that one sucks so much, because it was literally me and Russ for 90% of the time. And then
Really?
Chris would fly in from Austria every now and then for a day or two.
Mm.
And maybe Kai would come for a few days to do some bass. And then me and Russ, it was just like quite isolated and it's fun still, but not
It's like a bit
the same.
disjointed almost, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just it took ages to get done. We were going back for like separate sessions and stuff, and just
yeah.
one of them. But Russ is fucking amazing. I'd love to work with him again one day for sure. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah, we struck gold with Sam on this last album as
Yeah.
well, so it's good.
I will,
Yeah.
I recommend it if you can.
Yeah,
I will probably start the blog if I could just work with him. Just day one, Russ Russell, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, if you can, yeah, definitely recommend it, man. It's definitely you get an experience with Russ for sure.
Yeah. Okay, we'll start saving our pennies, I think.
God.
I mean, he'll turn up with like an instrument, some kind of, I don't know. One day, second album, he bought in a electric cello just from nowhere. It's like, oh, my mate had it, so yeah, got this, and just slamming that in.
How the
Like,
fuck can I use
all right,
that?
cool.
Yeah. So
Really?
good.
What,
He's,
what track's that in?
Choir of Wolves.
Choir of
okay.
Wolves.
And you
Okay.
know the big rumble at the start of the album and the end of the album, the big like War of the World sound.
Is that,
That's the electric channel.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
yeah.
mate.
Shit.
So I don't know
But
if
he
you
can do it.
guys.
So like,
Go
it's
on.
just like he's like the A team. So he'd be like, you know what this song needs? This song needs
A cabbage
an
thrower.
Yeah.
electric cello. And then the next day, yeah, it turned up with one. We got that thing on the first album, that 22. It's about like the North Korean prison camps and stuff. And he was like, you know what this needs? This needs a Korean person on it. And he just like made a few phone calls. And then suddenly someone would send an MP3 of them shouting in Korean. Oh yeah, it's my mate's mate in Korea. Like, all right.
How random. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Yeah, just shit like that. He's fun.
So fun fact. I don't know if you guys know, but in every single one of Russ Russell's albums, somewhere like hidden in the mix is the Wilhelm scream as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In
know
all the
that.
Napalm Death songs, in all the Shrapnel stuff, if you listen, there's a Wilhelm scream. If you listen really, really
It's
carefully, you
there,
can
it's
just
just
about pick out.
right in the
Yeah.
back of the mix.
Can you-
Like,
Yeah.
Do you, Aaron, do you remember
Wow.
The Wake from the first album?
Yeah. I remember getting that album song. Yeah.
So he was like working till 4 o'clock in the morning one day, like insane. Just like he does it. You go in the room and you can tell when he's in the zone because he's hunched over and he's like a
Yeah.
mad scientist working
Yeah,
on something.
just like-
and then the
yeah.
next day we're like, well, what were you doing last night, man? How's it sounding? He's like, mate, I spent 4 hours doing this, and he had turned the Wilhelm scream into whoa, whoa, whoa. So it's like
I would-
this. Wow! He's like, what do you think? Like shaking. He hasn't slept. Like, what do you think? Like, yes.
oh man, it's great. You know.
That's fun. That's excellent, Russ. Well done, mate.
Can we get
another
on with the
Guinness.
album now?
That's it, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Listen,
I
that
think
sounds
when-
awesome.
I obviously haven't worked with Russ, but working with Sam, how different was that to your experience with Russ? You know.
Way less centered. So Russ is like an authority, isn't he? Like if Russ thinks something sucks or is great, then you kind of defer to him.
Mm.
Like Sam, because he's up and not a disrespectful thing to Sam, but he's up and coming, isn't he? He's like one of the lads. He's learning the ropes. He's in bands himself, and
Yeah.
it requires way more consensus among everyone.
Yeah.
To come to a sort of end point, which is way different. But also, Sam's more available, isn't he? Like we can call him up tomorrow and get some input on a vocal pattern, and
Right.
yeah. So having that sort of, he's almost become like a bit of a fifth member, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I
but
think
he's a
Sam,
smart lad as
in a
well.
way.
He's a smart lad. He had
Yeah,
he had loads of ideas that, you know, when we were recording the album, we just sat there and we were like, oh yeah, fuck, didn't think of that.
Yeah, shit. And that's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not-
maybe what
yeah,
you
he
need, isn't it?
said-
That outside like input
Yeah,
almost, as you say, that extra member that just sort of says, well, what about this? And you know, in the right way,
I mean,
absolutely.
on this
That's
on this new
amazing.
single, he's taken on almost like a writer's role, isn't he? On the new stuff.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's like
he's a smart
chipping in harmony ideas and all kinds of
Do you-
stuff. It's just cool.
Do you guys record the stuff yourself then? With Hedra?
Yeah.
You do it all yourself. Like, so how do you do drums? Do you mic up a kit somewhere, or is it all electric kit? Or
No, I door everything in at the minute. Yeah, dooring everything in, and then just bouncing separate, tracks for everything. So obviously, you have like cymbals and the different drums on different lines. But I mean, it doesn't sound anything like real drums. But I've got
you
to a
work with
point
what
where
you got, right?
yeah, for sure, and the practicality of setting up a drum kit in a studio somewhere, and the time it takes to record it and get good takes as well. It's just for me, it totally negates, the fact that I can just sit here and I can work till 4 or 5 in the morning writing in drums and make it sound probably, not as good, but 95% as good. Like to me,
of course.
that by far outweighs the cost of thousands of pounds, for studio time and someone to then mix it and then turn around and say, oh, okay, this sounds dog shit in the mix. Can you go back and redo it? Then, when you're drawing in drums, you just, boop, you just move it along a little bit. You just change the modulation on it. So, yeah, for me, like that's how we're doing things at the minute. I think it's sounding okay. It maybe needs tweaks here and there, but for album quality, it's as good as I think it should be. So obviously the guys with the guitars are doing things, doing the reamping thing, and I'm sure Camille and Simon will elaborate a little bit on how they're going through
when
that.
you get too loaded with VSTs and artificial sounds, it just kind of seems to sort of squash down what you actually supposed to sound
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do as much kind of reamping and things as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
On
we
the
were
guitars.
the same. I mean, our new single that's coming out, hopefully, apparently not at the end of the month. I've just been told by Nate. So that's all been done, through reamping and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there seems to have become this genre of bedroom guitarists. The guys that
Yeah.
play the solar guitars and they're just sitting there on Facebook and they're listening to my new album and they're like
Yeah.
playing through a Kemper. It seems to become a whole genre, and I think it's just so stagnated that sound so much that it's nice to reamp stuff and create
It is.
a different sound.
Definitely, yeah.
I
Want a
mean,
live sound at the end of the day. Nothing beats a live sound, and that's why everybody goes back to the classic albums as well as the
Sure.
fact that they've had the money plowed into them. But the actual sounds are classic sounds because of the room they're in
Mm.
and who it was produced by as well has something to do with it. But the atmosphere needs to be there as much, I think, still as what you actually recorded.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like,
I'm
listening to
trying
some of
to
like the
bring that
modern
back.
stuff, like, it's so stale. Like, it's so fucking stale. Like, you can listen to an album start to finish, and there's just kind of no emotion to it, you know. And like the music that we play, I mean, especially thrash, you know, it's fucking it's pumped with adrenaline, you know. And when you listen back to some of that older stuff, you can feel that adrenaline. Whereas the newer stuff, you just don't. It just feels, whether it's just the way that things are mastered, and you know, nowadays where everything's just compressed to fuck. You know, I don't know.
I love the earlier Testament albums to the newer ones.
Yeah.
Even though
Always.
profici- yeah, but proficiently playing wise, if you listen to Testament now to what they were then, they're so far ahead playing wise.
Mm.
But the way it's recorded ruins it for them. I love the fucking rawness of being in the room in thrash music, and you know, like the early Megadeth albums compared to the last one they did fucking 6 years ago. But there you go.
Yeah, I
mean,
know,
that,
right? We were
to me-
talking about that the other day.
I know. But to me, that sounds fucking bollocks compared to like Rust in Peace or, you know, So Far, So Good, So What is because the whole room sound is in there, and even the remasters are fucking bollocks as well. Like,
I don't know,
must
man.
say, I mean,
I don't know, man. I love the remaster to Killing Is My Business. The drum remaster on it was.
oh
like,
yeah, that one
done-
maybe yeah,
done it
yeah,
well good.
yeah, because that's
Um,
because the first one was done on $500 or something, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
Or potato, is it?
in 2 days.
I think the problem you have is that it's
drum.
become a race to the bottom, isn't it? So like,
Mm.
no one. We were having this conversation with our producer Sam the other day, weren't we? Like, no one is going to stick their neck out. Like, I think everyone genuinely agrees. This is the weird thing, that everyone kind of agrees that stuff doesn't sound as good anymore, right?
Mm.
It's all too loud. There's no dynamics anymore. It's gone. But the
Yeah.
problem is, no one's going to be the one to stick their necks out and do that album that sounds slightly quieter but more dynamic. No one's going to do it. So
Yeah.
you know, I'd love to do an album that was like live recorded, sounded, you know, roomy and spacious and stuff like that. But you know, you do that, no one's going to listen to you, right? Because
Yeah,
that-
everyone's
No one
just gonna
listens to
like,
us.
they're just gonna like just bash you. You know, I mean, you know, they're just gonna
Yeah,
say
the
what a
whole-
load of
you know,
shit. And,
This is
yeah,
with
you're
the
sat on that
issue. With,
playlist with a bunch of loud bands. No one's going
Yeah.
to do it. No one's going to be that
yeah,
first person. So,
and that's
I mean,
the
you
issue
need-
with modern metal.
big time.
100%.
Yeah, it's a race, giant race
It's
to the bottom.
It
You
has
need a
become the
big
new
band.
norm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. I mean,
if Megadeth would go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you want someone like Megadeth to put out a record that sounds vintage, I guess, and maybe people would,
that's dog shit.
you know, you could wind it back down again, but I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
That's
for
the
sure.
problem.
Yeah, as you say, just someone needs to just
Yeah.
kind of reinvent that. And I mean, once again, funny enough, like reinventing the steel was what I was going to say. But you know, like you had like that with Pantera. Once again, you know, they still had like that raw like edge when you listen back to even reinventing the steel. Everyone says like no one looks at that album anymore, but everyone talks about, you know, Far Beyond and Cowboys and, you know. But I mean, reinvent the steel's such a fucking sick album. It's like that for me is like the best of Pantera when you listen to the album.
yeah. Have you heard the remaster?
Yeah, and it's once again,
Yeah,
it's just not got that. I don't know. They've like, I don't know, sucked a load of semen out of
I
it. They
actually
ain't got the
did-
balls.
I didn't mind it, honestly. I didn't mind
Yeah.
it too much. Listened to it the other day. 'Cause Terry Date did it, didn't he?
Yeah. Terry Date's
He
a
picked it up
fucking
again. And I was like,
smart guy.
Yeah, I prefer the original for sure, but
Yeah.
I didn't mind it too much. But everything's loud, man. Everything's so fucking loud now.
Yeah.
But
That's
we
the
sound
same.
like old,
yeah, I
old
mean,
dudes,
I-
don't we?
when that yeah I'm fucking like 46, you know. I've been around the fucking block, and you know,
More than once.
I just more than once, I've done it fucking too long probably. But yeah, I think at reinventing the steel, I was like, oh, this is too dry, this is too formulated, this is too wrong, this is not a bunch of guys in a room together fucking jamming it out anymore. This is like, you know, Phil Anselmo on his own and the rest of the guys on their own, and it really comes across with that.
I don't think Reinvent the Steel
So-
was though. That was when they first like tried to get back in a room together. But the Great Southern Trendkill was done completely separate. Like they were miles
Yeah.
and miles and miles apart. But once again, like that's got like some of the most fucking you know, you can sense the fucking shit they were going through in that music. It just seems so fucking angry and so dark in places as well. So, but as you say, it's got that edge. It's got that something to it which you don't have nowadays. Everything is just so like cookie cutter. I mean, like talking about the Kemper stuff, like Aaron said, it's just so fucking flat.
I love the Kemper, right? I think it's a genius invention. I think it's one of the best musical inventions of, you know, our era, really.
Yeah.
You don't have to replace valves on it. You can have whatever sound you want. You can put whatever cab. You can put it with whatever cab. You can run it straight to a front of desk.
Yeah.
It's portable.
Logistically, it's amazing.
Logistically, it's amazing, right? But everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to copy. Everyone's trying to
Yeah.
copy the fucking modules that everyone else has got, so everyone ends up sounding the fucking same.
Exactly. But something we noticed, me and Nate found a band. Was it last week or this week? They had like this sort of chainsaw guitar sound. It was like really early sort of Swedish death metal, like Entomb sound. You know the band I'm talking about, right? I can't think of their name.
End something, yeah.
End something, yeah. They had a
End
they had a
something.
very generic
Yeah.
name. But that seems to be making a comeback. Like this sort
End
of like
Sigma.
Swedish. That's it. This Swedish sort of death metal. Really like, oh, I've bought myself a HM2 because I can't afford a proper amp, so I'm going to turn every knob up full.
all the fucking way up.
Yeah, that seems to be making a comeback, which is nice. And but
the wasp in a jar sound.
yeah, exactly. But,
do you remember, Aaron? Do you remember Germany?
Yeah. Oh, we met the Kemper guy, didn't we? Or
We
was it
met the Kemper guy, right?
Yeah.
I got to tell him to his face. And I was like, I think you're the devil. and it's like, so we got the beers in, and then it was like, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna convince you why Kempers are amazing. And I was like, no, you're not. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the night, I was like, that's really practical.
Yeah,
I might get one.
They are practical, but
we were there with loads of like big guys. So we were there with the guy who released the last sort of like 3 Sodom albums, like the big modern Sodom albums. We were there with the drummer from Exuma, members of Sodom, members of Bonded, Assassin, and stuff like that. And even like Berneman from Sodom and Bonded was just like, yeah, you know, I love Marshalls and I love my Engel, like he's an Engel guy, but Kemper just beats it because I don't have to carry around a fucking huge amp.
Yeah, you'll
Literally, that was it.
USB stick to it.
Yeah,
that's it, as you say, and that's it. It's, you know, they are, yeah, they're fucking clever and they're practical and everything, but as you say, they're kind of, I don't know, they're taking us in the wrong direction, like we just talked about. But you know, I don't know, it's that whole like lazy generation that we are, I guess. So
yeah,
the whole fucking
I have a
Netflix
question,
generation.
if I may ask.
Yeah, what's up, Camille?
Hello, Camille. How you doing?
Thanks. It's about Russ Russell Studio. I just want to ask you, the guitars, did you record it in a studio or that was just reamping?
That was in the studio. So the first album we did was when the Kemper just came out. It was like kind of new. And Russ had gotten hold of one, and we were trying to work out whether. So we'd had like about 2 days where we were comparing tones. So we tracked a bunch of guitars. I used JSX, I think, JSX head. Something.
What, the PV, the Joe Satriani.
I think so.
The one
I think so.
The one that's fucking abnormally loud.
Yeah.
Loud,
It was either that or an EVH or something, and we were doing a bunch of, you know, trying different cabs out and stuff like that, and we'd tracked them all, and then he did the whole Kemper reamp, not reamp, it's like trying to capture the tones, and we were like, so it is the first album's recorded guitars, but then we got the Kemper tones and got rid of the heads, and then we were using the Kemper tones for the rest of the album, but it was like our tones. And then the second album was actually Jim. We nicked Raging Speedhorn's tone for that. Funnily enough,
dirty bastard.
Actually, we have a weird link to Speedhorn. Like, the first album we used all their cabs to get the guitar tones. The second album we stole the guitar tone from the album they were doing at the time. But yeah, it's a mix of both. We did a bit of both.
Cool.
It's like thrash in general, isn't it? There's not an original riff. There's not even an original guitar tone.
Yeah, I mean, the new album.
I don't want to tar it with that brush, you know.
All reamped. But yeah, Ross is a funny one because he'd come in one day. I think it was the second record, and he was just like, "Nah, it's not working." And it's like, "I've just been on the internet. I found this new microphone setup thing. It's like a Halo idea. He's
Yeah.
like, we're doing this. You know, lab coat on,
Yeah.
crazy eyes, like
We're doing this.
So
The way
yeah,
this will
it
be.
could be anything. It just fucking mic up anything.
He
Like,
did.
stop,
He
scrap
did.
it.
Yeah.
He did. He discovered that fucking 8 microphone thing, didn't he? Where he just put as many different microphones in front of a cab as you can possibly imagine,
Yeah,
and
man.
see what it sounds like. I love
Yeah,
that about
essentially, yeah.
him.
Yeah.
That's just what he's like. So yeah.
I've got a question for Jim actually.
Oh, have you? Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I need a
what-
piss.
Yeah,
Oh, Aaron, I'm not sure about this, mate.
My toes are crossed already. So when you record vocals at home, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you deal with like pissing off the neighbors? Because I did the last 2 singles at home, right? And the guys are like messaging me like, yeah, it needs like a guttural here, or like I have this thing where I sound like Tom Angel Ripper from Sodom, and this needs this and this needs this, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know if you can see, but that's next door's bedroom. Right
Oh, is it?
behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
I
like,
mean,
and I'm like
Well,
constantly like
I've
shitting
got-
my pants.
I've got
You've got a room, haven't you?
obviously little microphone isolation booth thing there, and then like
Yeah.
my ceiling is all padded as
nice.
well, and all the
Yeah.
walls are padded and everything, so that helps. But also, my neighbours are complete fucking wankers anyway, who grow weed and fucking have a little fucking drugs cartel going on next door. So if they're going to
That
complain
helps.
at me, then I'm
That
going to
helps.
complain at them. And they did complain at me, and I complained at them, and watched the police ram their fucking doors in and take away all their fucking drug fucking
You
paraphernalia.
still
and shit.
live there. You are a brave dude.
Yeah, fuck
I
that
know.
shit, man. Fuck
I
that
know.
shit.
I live in the fucking ghetto, mate. I live on Abbey Farm in Thetford, and it's fucking horrible. One day you could find a firework coming through your letterbox, but I've drilled mine up now. Or you could be having a shower and be shot in the shower, which has happened to me as well. But you know, that's all part of fucking cheap fucking living, isn't it? You know.
That will learn you.
And being able to
I'm
do this.
I'm being attacked on a daily basis, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
And I
Yeah.
can still do my music, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
well, no one's gonna fucking hassle me
so
because you know, I can just get on with it.
there was a question in the chat from Kim, and Kim was asking, when do you guys plan on releasing your next album?
Oh god.
Like, give us a general.
Let me go
sort
to the
of like-
toilet. I'm gonna get
that bad. I mean, we're currently in the process of obviously recording that album at the minute. The guys are working on the guitars. All the drums are sort of down, ready to rock and roll. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know at what stage. I think Camille and Simon, they're about 75% done. Is that fair to say, dudes?
Basically, we just start recording guitars for into the MIDI drums. Yeah, so I was using the 3 amplifiers, 2 dual electrifiers, and 1 PV. And
a 6505?
A 650 double O plus, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, and instead microphone we start using 2-knot torpedo. However, I was not really happy with that sound. So we just decided, and lockdown as well, because lockdown just start, and we could just recording in one place together, and you know, so there was no point to just recording whole album by one guitarist. I don't see it like you know, I'm not fancy with that stuff. And just this time I wanna just share with Simon everything. So now we're just going to do DIs and doing reamping in a
Right in the
studio,
process.
using microphones and all our equipment. Yeah. So
Nice.
hopefully after all that recording process will start again on the beginning of April, I think. So
Have you guys found that you've like gelled with the different style of recording the music? Because something that I've noticed is the way we've had to do it over lockdown, and I'm sure you guys have had to do it over lockdown as well. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
I hate being at home shouting into a microphone. I hate. Oh, can you just bounce me that MP3 and I'll have a listen to it? Oh, can you just like Chris? Can you just MIDI up these drums and etc. And Nath just do this shred? And honestly, oh my god, it just gives me the. Don't tell me what to do, mate. It doesn't make me hard. Let's put it that way. But how have you guys dealt with that? I mean, is that something you've always done, or is that
Well, we've always put our demos together that way anyway, with the hope of being able to go in a studio. But I don't find it a problem. I like to do the vocals on my own. Sometimes it's nice to have some assistance, but with the guitars and stuff, that has really set us back, I think, being at home, because the guitarists need to sit there together and communicate, and the drummer normally communicates with the fucking guitarist, but it is really, I mean, I think it's set us back about a year and a half now.
Yeah. I agree. I think if lockdown wasn't a thing and we had it our way, we would be well on our way. But because we've had this just constant bouncing of tracks, it's just so slow.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. And like as you say, you kind of send someone an idea, and because they've got to then interpret it, then add their bit to it, and then it comes back, and then and then you got to change it, and then it's got to change again, and whereas you just get in a rehearsal room and you jam it, and like half an hour later you've ironed out all of those issues that have taken 2 weeks to do via the internet. So
yeah, exactly.
But on a positive side, we have been able to learn new techniques that we otherwise wouldn't have even given a shit about trying to fucking learn. If you know what I mean?
So that's true. Yeah. We've been exactly the same. Like this is these last 2 singles. So I won't tell you what they are because I'm not allowed. But
they don't have names.
One of them's actually. I mean, if you went through some of our demo names, you'd piss yourself.
Yeah,
we got lizard people, heterosexual nutsack. Aaron's rat arsehole. I mean, the list goes on. But I've found that I've learned more about music in terms of the computer side in about 3 or 4 months than I have in my entire life from lockdown, which has been great.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's got its own, you got to take the positives out of the, what is a big negative situation. Like we're all kind of really alien in what's going on. Like we don't really understand, and we're having to learn these skills. But I mean, it's part of like the creative nature of music. I think is, you always should try and find a way. You're always kind of sniffing around trying to work these bits out. So, we kind of
I didn't know how to reamp. I didn't know how to reamp a fucking amplifier before this. And Camille can't do it in his house because he's got a hairdressing salon that's replaced his studio. But he said to me, "Oh yeah, can you buy that reamp thing and see how it all works?" And it actually came out really well, and I'm really fucking chuffed with my achievement. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'd never done it before, and I think in some ways the lockdown has been a brilliant opportunity for people to learn a lot more about music and how it all works for themselves rather than the whole band. As much as I would love to get in a room and jam with these guys, I don't mind that much, you know what I mean?
It hasn't changed so much. Like
I could barely tolerate myself most days.
The guys I feel sorry for are the drummers.
Yeah,
that's who I feel sorry for, because you can't really. I mean, you can do the MIDI stuff, but I know Chris has sent me a few messages this week. Like, I fucking hate this. I hate this so much, Nath. I fucking hate this.
Do
you not have a digital kit then, Chris?
Fucking no, mate. No. I'd rather set fire to
Bon Jovi.
Set fire to Bon Jovi.
I think a lot of people would rather set fire to Bon Jovi.
Oh, poor old Bon Jovi.
Bless him. I think these days, if you set fire to him, no one would notice.
It's not too long before he's in an urn anyway, is it?
But those the Roland digital drums are really good, aren't they?
You move forward.
The thing with a lot of electric guitars, I think, response.
Yeah,
and
response.
Response. If you're like when you're playing it, you get a lot of rebound that helps you. You can do do a lot of funky double stroke rolls around a kit and all that stuff. You think, wow, on the dog's bollocks. Then you go and play on your acoustic kit and you feel like you're playing on
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just feels like you're just fucking banging tin lids.
It's handy. It's handy if you're a certain type of player that's quite,
shit,
tippy tappy, shall we say?
Yeah.
You're quite light on the kit and stuff. Then it's fine. But if you're like me and you're just like whacking the shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
No,
you
I couldn't
just
agree
like
more.
knocking the pads off and like everything's moving.
There's
And,
that as well.
yeah.
I'd say they just don't respond the same. It's yeah. I don't know. It'd be like trying to play a guitar with strings made out of spaghetti. It's just it doesn't.
Dave
it
does
just
that
don't
every
work.
fucking day.
It's like that's not a pick drum, is it?
So here you go, and this is for Camille and Simon. Nath has an issue with his hands, right? Where when he plays guitar, his hands turn into fucking acid, and like honestly, it's mad. Like, so he has to replace his strings nearly every 2 songs of recording because they just eat through the strings.
Really?
Like when your when your G string goes black, right? Like with dirt, that's like an hour of use.
No way.
Hour, 2 hours of use. Yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah,
It's got really soft hands.
Sucks.
That's why we don't record albums very often because we can't afford the strings.
Man, you laugh, but when we start thinking about going into the studio, it's like, right, have we got string budget? Because fucking hell, it's bad, man. It's bad.
I mean, an album, just the guitar strings alone, I'd hate to know. It's probably about 300 quid worth of strings.
Probably, yeah.
Probably about that, yeah.
Oh man, like I guess how many times you have to change them, like throughout an album.
Do you eat a lot of onions?
Like, don't know. We haven't figured it out, man. Like we've used every type of string. Like,
yeah.
We tried them on. We tried them on the Dario steel ones, the stainless steel album, didn't we? And they lasted maybe like a rhythm and a half sort of track. Yeah, like a 3-song rhythm. And then they were gone. They were gone, just completely grim, black dirt under them, everything. I don't know what the fuck it is.
No,
I don't know how he does it.
So I simply won't bother buying a decent guitar. There's no point me spending a couple of $1,000 on a guitar because I will fucking
You will
melt
just
it.
fucking ruin it.
No point.
like an alien.
You have to use. You have to use.
Just realised I'm still
surgical
using
gloves.
Chris's. Oh man,
You have to use what? Gloves?
Surgical
some gloves.
Yeah, latex gloves.
Well, that ain't gonna work, is it?
Saying that, last time I saw Cannibal Corpse, Alex Webster was wearing these like weird skin tight pink gloves.
Really?
Like I was expecting him to be fucking Chamon, but he was like he was wearing these weird skin tight gloves, man. To play bass. I don't know if that's a thing. Like maybe that's some reason he eats through strings. Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. Nathan, you need to get in contact with him. Find out where he gets some sexy pink gloves.
Get me some gloves.
Get some marigolds on you, man.
Yes, mate.
I'll do it half-assed. I'll end up boring the kids. I'll have like fucking Thomas the Tank Engine ones or something. Won't I?
There you go. That's it. That's what you need to do. Chat to the kids. Kids know, man. You might get like find a whole nother following for Shrapnel.
Yes.
Like, dude.
You know the story. You know the story behind "Turn Off the Lights," Kim. But so have you guys ever had any like sinister wrongdoings in the band? Like they've gone behind you sort of thing, or maybe recorded a whole song without you even knowing.
I haven't yet. But I mean, there's demos that are coming out that I know Camille's been working on that I'm like, hey, I don't remember talking about that.
So one of our most popular songs from the new album has been "Turn Off the Lights."
Right.
And before we went into the studio, me and Tall Chris were like, "It's gash, mate. It's gash. Bin it off, mate. It's shit."
Really?
And they were like, "Yeah, fair enough." We then get to record the guitar tracks, and the drum tracks are there for this song. Like they recorded it without us even knowing. Didn't even tell us. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's on the album, by the way."
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been our most popular song. It's been our most popular song. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Because I was wrong.
It's because you wanted to record a potato. Yeah. You wanted an absolute potato of a song. And we were like, nah, this is wank.
Was that Tuna Canoe?
Yeah, that was bollocks.
Yeah, Tuna Canoe.
It was like it was alright. It was just unfinished, wasn't it? And then Sam was like, yeah, that's dog shit. This other one's great. Use that. So we did.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah,
so where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years' time then? Do you think you'll still be going?
Drunk.
I know, drunk.
Like
in rehab.
I reckon we'll still be going.
Because you've been quite dedicated for a long time now. How long have you been going? About 10 years, isn't it? Fucking
about 10 years. I mean, To be fair, we should have been on hiatus for about 3 years with that.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're basically treating it as like a new start, and we'd like, 90% of our fans and 90% of our income has come in the last 18 months.
Yeah,
it's crazy. We're hundreds of percent.
It's a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Which,
I mean,
we encounter people who don't know about the first two. Don't tell them that.
Yeah, it's because you in it. It's I honestly think that as well. Like listening to the stuff is just like there's just so much more clarity in what you're doing. And again, I'll say I love Jay. I think he's awesome. Why did he decide to leave it anyway? If you don't mind me asking.
Just a combination. It's like just life stuff. Yeah, he owns a business.
Yeah, he's got his designs, hasn't he? And
yeah, he was a busy dude. And like we were really ramping up to the next records, and he was just like, I haven't got time. Like I just can't. He had some home life stuff going on that he's all good now.
Yeah, just won't be able to commit and
like,
give it the time it needs almost.
Yeah, we tried to sort of find a way through, and we're still like the best friends and everything. Me and him are supposed to be doing a new thing.
Good.
Me and him are going to record an album.
Cool.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, it sucked, but it's the good thing about it is that it's allowed us to do a couple of things I think we maybe would have liked to have done before that we couldn't. There's certain stuff we could do before that we can't now, but there's a lot more stuff we can do now that we couldn't before. So like more singy stuff, more epic stuff we can get away with now and stuff.
What about focusing on like Europe tours and stuff like that? What do you think about that with the Brexit thing? And
mate, I'm having a fag now.
I take it. Hit a nerve with Aaron,
we're desperate to go.
Yeah,
we had some stuff arranged, but yeah, it's impossible to know at the minute. It's just like, so we've got a new booking agent, which is awesome.
Cool.
But they're the same. There's like we're playing it by ear basically.
And
we'll do a small UK run.
Have they let you know about any possibilities, or have they just sort of said
not really
what you've said?
No, just the same as what we said basically. So we're going to look at doing a few UK shows maybe later in the year, hopefully. We've got there's supposed to be a tour in like late August, I think, with Dream Evil.
Cool.
And then we're just going to go from there basically. I mean, again, like all the festival bills have now been shifted over to next year. So whether we'll get like European festivals, it's like up in the air. Yeah, it's going to take what we can get basically.
Cool. Was there like any like offers on the table that you're allowed to tell us about?
No, not really. We haven't really been. So we've been sort of egging on our booking agent a bit. Like, what can we do? But we just don't know at the minute, basically.
Yeah, for sure. As you say,
the weird thing is, by the time we tour, we'll probably have another record out, which is kind of weird, which makes this one kind of strange that we haven't really toured Palace for the Insane at all. So we'll probably have a new record out by the time we actually do something, which is it's kind of weird.
What do you guys think about like the live streaming of gigs and stuff? I mean, what's your take on that?
I mean, I've watched a few. So like, I'm a massive Bad Religion fan, and I watched all the they did a thing called Decades over Christmas, like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, each week, which is really cool. That was nice, but I don't know, like. There's something about it. It's a little bit stale, isn't it? It's a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel?
We tried it, didn't we?
I mean, it was cool. Like, it was a cool experience. But I mean, that was all like, it wasn't live stream, was it? It was pre-recorded, and we, it was played on like a day of the festival sort of thing. But I mean, I've seen like other bands do it, and it's it looks cool, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't translate, does it? Like. All of us love for like going to gigs because of like that shitty, horrible, like sweaty, humid, feeling, and just like being that close up to people and everything about it, and having a few beers and just being able to like cheer along with everything that's going on, shout along to like the songs that we love, I
mean that's my issue. Like it just part of me. I mean, I wasn't thinking about doing it ourselves, but like just watching him, part of me enjoys it. It's a band I like, and watching him. Part of me just makes me sad. It just makes you realize what you're missing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in terms of doing it ourselves, like I've got no interest in doing it myself at all. Like I don't know, we haven't really spoken about it, and I would do it, but like I struggle live anyway. Like I get like super anxiety and stuff like that, and I only enjoy shows after they're finished, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has that problem. Like such a nervous, like almost stage fright levels of yeah. Then
Not for me.
Yeah, I mean, Nate has to have a couple of beers before he goes on. If not, he's just
really.
I mean, it's a bad habit for sure. But
Yeah,
I mean, if not, I mean, we all do. But Nate has to have it to take the edge off because before a show, he's a wreck. Sometimes he's sitting there and he's just like, oh, you know, and he's I've seen it. And then after the show, once he's had a good show and he's got a few more beers, he's even more of a wreck.
Yeah. I always find like the worst bit of like any gig, like no matter what gig it is always, you know, like getting the gear there and making sure like everything's set up. Like once, you know, the lights go up and like the gig's underway, like I'm absolutely fine. Like the first band, second band, third band, whatever, like as long as everything's there and I know I've brought my shit and I'm there on time, like that's it. Like then the worries evaporate. It's just the lead up. Like, you know, I won't sleep the night before. Like I'll be up all morning just being like, fuck, I've got everything. Like if I taken my earplugs, like have I got my like drumsticks? Okay, have I got my backup drumsticks? Like in case those break. You know, have I got my pedals? Like are all the screws in there? Fucking all that shit. It's all the gear stuff. Once it's there and it's in the venue and I'm there, happy days. I relax, and then usually it's like the adrenaline of getting off stage. I get absolutely rat-ass because it's just the adrenaline's flowing.
Yeah, Nate's kind of the same, but just before we play a show, like he says, he gets really nervous, but he's also really notorious for leads just dying on him like this.
Oh no.
So yeah, I mean, we went, we played loads of shows and we set up all these pedals for him and stuff so we can get all these effects, and he's, you know, plugged them in, and I've given him leads, and I lent him my whole pedal board for a couple of shows because I've got a load of different pedals and Morley wire and stuff, which is a great idea because it doesn't actually have a click. It engages as soon as you put pressure on it, which is fucking genius. But there'll all be new leads in there, and then somehow they'll just die.
Oh man,
like, literally, and he's like losing his shit. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about you, Jim, but like being a front man as well is the first sort of like minute of a show sort of like a bit.
No,
you know what I mean?
I've never really suffered from from any kind of nervous. I don't think I've ever played anything big enough, to be honest. Apart from maybe like the Astoria in London, all the other shows I've done have been pretty small. So I as soon as I get up on that stage, I'm not me anymore. I switch off. Yeah. And I don't even think about if I'm being a dick or whatever. I just go and do it. It all comes out. And that's just a natural ability that I've got for some reason. Maybe I inherited it from my old man. I don't know. But he used to be a compere on stage. You know, he used to introduce bands like Judas Priest and Queen and all these huge bands and stuff. So I kind of picked up, I think, somewhere along the line that it really doesn't matter because your time on stage is yours and no one else's. So you can be whoever you want, say whatever you want to say. That's your time in life to do what you want to do with it.
So you're like you feel like you're a natural front man sort of thing.
Well, I never really even considered myself to be a front man, to be fair. I've always considered myself to be a guitarist. I've always played guitar. And it was only in the band Subvert that obviously you know about, don't you? That I took on vocals. So I wasn't even aware I was a vocalist until that time. So I've never really considered myself to be a vocalist. No, I've always made a point of saying I'm no great singer. I just go out and sing. And again, that doesn't, that doesn't make me nervous because I can always turn around and say, I've never really considered myself to be a singer. So if you think I'm shit, fine. You know.
Yeah. So I have this technique that I use for the first sort of half a song, because I get a little bit nervous once I'm up on stage and I'm sort of looking out at everybody. But I imagine everybody as rubber ducks. Yeah, you laugh, right? You laugh
like you do in school. You have to imagine people naked or whatever.
Yeah. And that gets you in trouble now at our age. But yeah, that
if you're in a school,
that works fantastically for me. And I've never seen myself as a front man until I joined Shrapnel properly. And before the Gamma Bomb tour, I hadn't sung in 6 years. So that was pretty nerve wracking. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. As soon as that first, well, that happens for you straight away. But as soon as that little bit's done, it's like you're a completely different person. You take on this persona that the crowd wants to see, and you become this sort of larger than life character. But yeah, I couldn't do it straight away. I have to imagine that they're rubber ducks.
My one of my heroes, one of my favorite people is again, I'm a massive Bad Religion fan, and the guitarist, still a member of the band, but he never plays live with them. So he owns a record label. He Brick Jovich, he owns Epitaph Records, but he was in them in the beginning, and then went to do his record label, and then rejoined as like just a songwriter, and that's the dream, man. If I could get someone just to go do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's
nice.
a weird thing. I don't hate it, and it's like a genuine thing, and I love it. But at the same time, it's like this real. I like the creative stage of it. So I love being in the studio. I love writing stuff. That's the part of it that I really, really love. And then I love the touring. I love the camaraderie. I love the parts before and after, but that like hour in between.
You have to kind of grit your teeth and just.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. Like, I love it. Like,
yeah,
I do. But also, it's like maximum stress. I hate, love it, hate it, and then I love the bit afterwards.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
I suppose it's like the come down of like that build up of stress, isn't it? And then being able to press that release valve.
Yeah.
Once a gig's done, it's been successful. Like, there's probably no better.
It's the adrenaline, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my favorite people are always like your Jeff Hannemans, your Malcolm Youngs, the people that you maybe. They're not the sole focus all the time. Like they're usually my favorite musicians as well.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's weird talking to you actually, like today, because I remember your sister when I was in Subverts coming up to me and she goes, my brother's a really, really great guitar player, and he's now starting up this band, and he's really fucking awesome. And I was like,
my sister?
Yeah.
I don't have a sister.
Oh, is it not your sister or a friend of you?
That was Chris's sister. Maybe.
Oh, it could have been. I don't know. Some girl called Laura said. Not Laura.
Not a clue.
No, maybe no. Anyway,
is he sure it's the same band? Might be someone else.
Kind of weird.
Maybe.
Could be my brother.
Maybe. Maybe it might have been your brother or someone came up to me and he's got a whole
wife I didn't know about.
And you came along to a barbecue, didn't you, with us guys round at Ruben's house? Do you remember that?
Oh, man.
You don't.
How long ago was this? Because
it's about 12 years ago.
Nah, not a clue.
Mate, he can't
No,
remember.
He can't remember last week.
I won't remember this tomorrow.
Oh really?
No.
Are you at Oxford University then or not?
Yeah. Is it my faulty memory or your faulty memory?
No, probably both. To be honest, I've done a lot of drugs back in the day, but no, yeah, I remember someone coming up and going, "Oh, my brother's a guitarist and he's really fucking cool." And then I heard that you were in a band with Jay, and like I just think it's unreal that like time has gone by and. I sort of finished my music career in the sense of like, getting in all the magazines, and then you went up into the kind of world of being in everything music-wise, and like how the Norwich scene has kind of developed over the years. I think is fascinating. Like just watching like other bands from our area kind of coming up into the music world, and I think you're probably one of the only ones that I would say is actually doing it in our area now. What do you think about that? Because obviously there was the Darkness from Lowestoft and Cradle of Filth, and there are a few bands dotted about, but there's not really anyone that is touring and with some renowned bands like you guys are. How did you get to that stage of doing that, from the beginning?
Like one of the sad, actually, when you say that, actually, one of the sad things for me is that I feel completely and utterly disconnected from the Norwich scene. Like I have no idea what's going on. Like I know, so like the last big band I remember coming from Norwich was The Boy Will Drown. Those guys, when they, they're in a really good. I can't remember their name. Bloody Embrace or something they were called. Bunch of kids, and then they became like a really successful band. And there was annotations of an autopsy as well, kind of from our region.
Yeah, I know them.
Lowest boys, didn't they?
There was a Nathan in that as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I just remember like Steve was like part of the scene when we first started, and then we suddenly saw him at Download Festival on the second stage. Like, holy shit, they blew up like massively.
Yeah.
But I don't really know, if I'm honest. Like I feel like we're not a deliberate thing, but a bit disassociated from it a little bit, really, because we haven't really played in Norwich for a while. We all kind of moved away as well.
I remember seeing you at B2. I think
it's been a while. Like I'd love to play some shows back home.
Mm.
I mean,
Chris wasn't in it then. You had a different drummer then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, I think the issue we've found with Norwich shows as well is we've always kind of used Norwich shows as like a warm up for us to go and do something else, and it's always been like a last minute thing. Like you know, we need to get ourselves into the live situation for these big shows, so let's play a show in Norwich. Let's try out the set list. That song worked. That song didn't work. And let's get on the road. But what I've noticed of the band, you know, getting to play with these other bands and getting all our connections and stuff, and you know, I've learned a few tricks off them. Is we just seem to get on with everybody more than anything. I mean, music aside, we're always the last band at the bar with the other bands, getting pissed, buying everyone drinks, you know, talking music on and talking to them like we're humans, you know, like we are now. You know, talking to you like, oh, you know, comparing albums with each other, and you know, I had a beer crack open.
Yeah, I know.
And that's why we're doing this, because for me, I miss that side of like playing with bands so much that I came up with this idea and said, like, you know, why don't we just get connected with the bands that don't get their fucking chance to do this shit every fucking week, you know what I mean? At the minute. So, you know, that is why we've set this up, just to kind of,
it's just that bit of therapy, isn't it? Just like, let's just talk about music again, because as soon as we all start talking about music, like, you know, collectively, like our eyes light up, don't we? And you know, and it's been an absolute, like, you know, pleasure to sit and talk to, you know, not only you guys but the other bands we've talked to, you know, over the last few weeks, and just talk about music again, and just kind of get that feeling once again of just being sat at a bar after a gig, just having a beer and chatting shit. You know, it's great. It's fucking awesome. So
that's what we're good at, the beer bit.
We're really good at definitely. Cool. I'm looking forward to that.
quick story, right? So here we go. It's another pissed up Nave story. But we played a show in Manchester on the tour with Wolf. That's when I was filling in for guitar for Shrapnel at the time. And afterwards, we got absolutely battered. Like it was all of us down. Yeah, the guitarist, it was crazy. The guitarist from Wolf, someone like, you know, maybe brings down a crate of beer or something like that. This guy brought down an Optics bottle of vodka.
What?
Like slammed the whole lot, right? Jesus Christ, man. Woke up the next morning like, hey guys, and we're like, fuck off, mate. No way. But we got absolutely pissed. And Nath was rat-assed, and anyway, he went to bed. We got up earlier in the morning, me and Chris, and we went down to the staff downstairs and told them all that, you know, we need to go with this plan. Like Nath had really made a fool of himself, like smashed stuff up. He was banned for the night, and we had to talk him, get him back into the room and stuff. So Nath goes down, you know, wake Nath up, like, Nath, we got to get up, man. It's time for breakfast. Like, let's get on the road. And he goes, oh, what? And I was, you wouldn't believe what you've done last night. And he's like, what? And I start reeling off all this bullshit to him. And he comes downstairs, and the people behind the counter are looking at him like,
just giving him the
everyone
look.
went along with it, and they've had like a complete existential crisis. Like, I can't drink anymore. What have I done? What's happening to me? And like getting really upset, and we're like, dude.
Legends.
Oh man,
yeah, that was fun. That was good.
I was gonna say, yeah. What was going through your head?
Though?
What's that?
What was going through your head? What was he thinking? Like, fuck, what did I do?
So I had a that morning I had a call. So for my PhD stuff, I had a call with my supervisor.
Right.
Yeah, you check in with each other every now and then. So how's your research going? Blah blah blah. And that morning I had one, and this fucker woke me up, like, you've ruined life, basically, mate. And I was like, oh, great, cool. And 20 minutes before this, pretty important meeting that I had on the phone.
Yeah.
I go downstairs and all the bar staff are looking at me like, yeah,
that guy.
Like, fucking hell. And I'm on the phone to my supervisor talking about this academic shit. And it was literally the worst morning ever.
Yeah, you couldn't concentrate on that because you're just thinking, yeah, what the fuck was I doing? Nice one. That's well played, man. Loving that.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate prank.
That was the same tour we played.
And like,
yeah. That was the same tour we played. That was the same tour we played Hammerfest on, and we all got really pissed up on Strongbow Dark Fruits because it was all that was available to buy, like in a crate there. So we all got massively.
It's such a prank.
Yeah, I know, right? And then everyone went to bed, but I stuck into Chris's chalet in the middle of the night and locked the toilet door from the outside. So when he woke up in the middle of the night, like dying for a piss, like absolutely off his head, he couldn't get into the toilet. And drummer Chris woke up, he's like desperate for a shit, like gonna shit himself.
Yeah.
Couldn't get into the fucking toilet, had to like find his wallet, get like 2 peas out while he's like nipping up like a rabbit's nose. It's fucking brilliant. Have you guys got any stories like of being pissed up?
I don't know. I mean, pretty much every week we talk about Jim shitting himself, but
just don't fucking.
See, I had to.
No, we're not going there.
I had to just slip that one in there, just like the poop down your leg. Geez, stories when I've been drunk. I mean, I remember. I mean, I can talk about. I remember being drunk, but what was worse was I was in a stoner metal band at the time, and our guitarist. I think it was only our second gig, and he
in a what stoner.
Yeah, stoner rock, man. Like, yeah, proper, like, proper chugging band. You know, I mean, good fun, like real good fun to play. But like, we was all just like those guys were like doing weed and shit. Like, I've never touched drugs. Drugs aren't my thing, but I love drinking. But just before we he got the train down to the gig, and on the train he had a bottle of Jameson's. So he drunk pretty much a whole bottle of Jameson's on the way to the gig. This was in Watford. And
Watford.
But we got to the gig and I could tell he was like a bit squirrely. He can handle his drink. Like, he was a big dude. He could really handle it. But he was a bit skew-if. And we got in there and they were doing, I think they were doing two double Jack and Cokes for a £5. So he was just buying double Jack and Cokes and like £5 at a time. So he spent about 30 quid on them, and then we had to play. And like we get like halfway through the set, and he's just like playing his guitar, and just like his head's waving around like a fucking bobblehead. He goes to start like the third song. He plays like the intro from a completely different song, but he plays like the riffs, you know, like in a different sequence. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you doing?
Emotion.
And so we get like right towards the end of the like we play the very last song. And so the stage in the flag, they had like the floor, then you had like the guitarist and the vocal stage, and you had the drum riser right at the top. So it's like this little 3-stage thing. So he's on the guitar staging, and like the last song like kind of played these 3 like bar chords, and you know, with a big open at the end to kind of ring out. So he's gone bow bow bow, and as he's hit that last one, he's gone to take a step back, tripped over the stage, and just fallen straight through the fucking drum kit. Like, annihilated it. Fucking drums, legend. Like the floor tom goes flying across the stage. Like, and he's just lying there, like, just on his back, like arms up, still guitar there. And the fucking legend, like, then just starts shredding. And like, there's a picture somewhere on my Facebook of him just lying there, like, crashed into all these drums with guitar in him, just absolutely fucking baked, man. And dude, motherfucker got up, like, just kept drinking. Just like, we finished a set, stayed around for the rest of the gig, and it was fucking awesome. But yeah, he didn't tell up to work the next day.
Imagine Chris if he did that to his drums.
I have been on stage. I've been quite drunk on stage as well, and
is that when you shoot yourself?
Between like actually singing, I managed to time myself enough to be able to throw up and then run back to the stage and sing a bit more, you know, sing the verse and then run off the stage, throw up, and then come on and sing a bit more.
A little tactical
and like
cube.
Obviously by the end of the song my fucking throat was killing me, but Yeah,
I didn't. I've got a story where I didn't have that luck. So in my first ever band, which is we're a really young thrash band, Terrorboss, we before we played a show, me and the bassist had like a decent sized bottle of vodka, and we'd done half of it each. We were absolutely fucked, being young at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that guitarists will know. When you've had that sort of amount of drink where no matter what you press on your fretboard, you can't feel it. You're like, I'm numb. I'm completely numb. Anyway, we get up and there's the intro song and 3 other songs before there's a break, right? And I get halfway through the first song and I'm like, I need a piss really bad. I'm like, I can't. The fans need this, right?
Do it.
So I'm like, fucking still playing it. I get halfway through the second song and but I was younger then, so I could get away with it. But I was wearing leather skin tight trousers, right? And I pissed myself completely.
Oh no!
Just pissed all in them. And funnily enough, right, the same white high tops I'm wearing now.
Oh, like Metallica.
I say they they look more of a off-white yellow.
Yeah,
they got
they're not held together with masking tape. Like Metallica, they really struggled, didn't they, back in the early days where they fucking had to tape their trainers up. Those look pretty well kept, to be honest.
I don't know. I've had these ones for nearly 8 years now. They're going strong.
They're in good shape, dude.
Yeah, well, you see the inside, man. They stink.
They just smell a bit of piss.
It's like some random foot juice at the end of them. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Throwing a clone inside of them.
Loving it. Cool. We're kind of gonna start winding down the show, guys. So I kind of wanted to give all 3 of you a chance to kind of tell anyone who's listening, anyone who's watching, who's going to watch it back on YouTube, where we can find Shrapnel. Obviously, Aaron, I know you do Twitch stuff too, and Chris, obviously, you kind of branch out a bit on your drumming. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a bit of a chance to kind of plug all the different things you do and plug a bit of Shrapnel, man.
I'll let Nath take over. Go on, Nath. Dig in, son.
What do you want me to say? Facebook, Spotify.
So you can find that stuff. You can find our merch. You can find
social media.
Oh yeah.
Just go on Google.
You asked the worst person.
You can find all our merch at Shrapnel Big Cartel, Shrapnel official Facebook, Shrapnel Twitter, Shrapnel Thrash on Instagram. The usual 4 big social media outlets, but more importantly, you can catch us here on Twitch. Apparently, that's a thing. So follow Hedra.
Why did you think I'd be better at doing that?
I know I stitched you up, mate. I know you were.
I see.
So you don't like to sell yourself too much, then?
I'm not big on it. No.
What happens.
And Chris, where can you find your drumming stuff, man? Your Metal for Hire thing.
Metal for Hire, mate.
Yeah, mate.
You just said it.
Easy as that.
What is it on YouTube? What?
No, it's the website, metalforhire.com.
Metalforhire.com. There you go. You got it.
So if you want the signature Lars kit on your album and you've got the money, you can pay metalforhire.com.
Metalforhire.com to get that signature Lars sound.
Too much.
Get in. I'm still in the job.
Is it cheaper than Sean?
Add an extra zero on there.
Oh man, 100 quid.
Whoa.
That's a fucking bargain.
Yeah. Man. That's right. I'll pack my bags in the morning, Jim. Don't you worry me, old China. It's all good.
That's it.
I'll see myself
It's
out.
decent. Chris is doing some pretty decent work. So
man, yeah.
Definitely getting on your album. It's worth it.
Yeah, that dude is shit hot. So yeah, I'm fucked. I wish I'd never asked. Right. Okay, right. So we do this little thing at the end of the show where we do a would you rather question. I have come up with a name for this because obviously people are crying out for a name. So it's Hedra, the answers to questions that no one wants to hear. So if one of you could,
good luck, guys.
Yeah, good luck. There are some doozies in there. I'm hoping you pick out a good one. But if one of you, by all means, if you guys want to have a bit of a conflab, have a bit of a chat, and decide who's going to pick a number. But I'd like one of you to pick a number between 1 and 24 for me, please.
Go on, Chris.
12.
12.
That's a shit number.
Yeah, that's poor. Or
Out of all the
One
numbers
before
you could
lucky.
have chosen,
I mean,
12.
I was expecting you to say like 16. You know, being a drummer, you know, you kind of got to stick to fours and. No, okay, yeah, drummer joke for you there. Just a little drummer joke for you there.
All right.
Right, okay. So the question is, and obviously it goes to all three of you, is would you rather fart in a deaf man's ear or cock windmill in front of a blind guy?
Farted in a bottle once.
We've got a demo called that.
We've got a demo called Fart Bottle because I farted in a
Fart
Right,
bottle.
sorry. What was the... yeah.
When are we going to hear that demo?
What was the question?
Shrapnel 2022. Would you rather fart in a deaf man's ear or do a cock windmill in front of a blind guy?
What the fuck's a cock windmill anyway? Is that like where you just
Yes.
like...
Do you want me to show you, Jim? What you do?
Yeah, show me what you mean.
Okay,
I don't know.
This is my very exaggerated penis because it's about half the size of this. But you get that, and
mine doesn't do.
You kind of do that. You do that, Jim. You swirl it around like a little windmill.
Mine doesn't do a windmill. It just goes
like you got
up
a
and
lasso.
down.
Yeah. Mine's only got an up and down function as well. It's more of a switch.
I don't know. They're both equally erotic in most situations.
Depends if you're into farting, though, innit? I mean, I know some people are into that. So
I feel like maybe like so the first one I don't see what good could come of farting in a deaf guy's ear.
No,
Yeah.
I do.
They feel
But I
vibration.
do see.
yeah.
I feel like the Willy Windmill thing could be useful, like because if someone's going to want to see that at some point,
Yeah.
and it's good practice.
It's a good show.
My
Good show.
my
On a practical
theory.
level.
Like man is a terrible critic.
Yeah, but it's like
How's a good
I
practice?
don't know. It's like it's practice against some sort of audience, isn't it?
But
I
you,
suppose.
you,
If you fart in a guy's ear, even though he's deaf, you know, if it's a cold day, you know, his ear's going to be warm.
that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
if you fart in a deaf guy's ear, you offend more of the senses, right?
Yeah.
One, he can feel that against his ear. Two, it's warm. Three, he can
still smell it.
And four, he can still see the puckered asshole that is coming towards his face.
He's that, yeah.
So,
Just that little
Why is
bum
your-
hole, you know. That's what you got to
Why are you
think
what do you
trying to
about.
reckon?
offend people?
why am I trying to offend?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Oh,
the one's positive. The other one's like a positive,
not with your
enriching
dick.
experience. Well, you know. Yeah.
I mean, you know, and once again, like, you know, with the blind guy, he might still hear that kind of thing slopping around as you spin it. You know, the kind of sound of meat on meat.
Slopping.
Yeah,
Oh.
slopping around. You know, that's the only way I can really describe that noise.
Fucking hell.
Kind of makes that kind of slop. Sort. No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Got
I'm with you.
Yeah.
When there's some excess skin.
Aaron's side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Fine.
go with farting in a deaf guy's ear.
Farting in a deaf guy's ear.
Because,
Okay.
yeah,
Pretty confident about that one. I'm liking that.
like Guinness fart as well.
Oh
Probably
yeah.
Guinness
Yeah.
fart.
The day after a good session.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you saying, man?
I will.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Did anyone hear him there?
yeah. Are you still there? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Really think
Yeah.
about this.
Bit louder, my friend.
Yep. Farting a deaf man.
Farting in a deaf
Farting in a
man's
deaf
ear.
man's ear.
Okay, right. So Nathan, it's not really. You know, it's going to be a 2 to 1 at best. So you know,
Yeah, I'm going with the windmill.
I'm going for the Willy Windmill. Yeah. No, fair
Yeah.
play. I mean, it's it's strong. You know, you're always going to be outnumbered, and you know, it's
Brave
very
one.
valiant. Yeah, very valiant. You know, to vote for the losing vote. I'd obviously like to offer the opportunity to any of you guys to add to our fantastic list of would you rather questions. If anyone has any,
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna add one.
come on,
I'm
Aaron.
gonna add one.
Come on, man.
Yeah. No, I'll do it afterwards. I'll send it for the next one.
no, we need to know.
No, I got to do it here.
Yeah, you
No,
got to do it
I
here.
can't. You can't. I'll get arrested. It's
No, you
not worth
won't.
it.
Dude, trust me.
Does it involve children?
there's
Right. Okay. Here we go. Would you rather? Right.
would you rather?
If you had to suck a dick, do the first 90% or the last 10%?
Okay. How am I going to word that?
Like, so you've either got to do all the work, and
Yeah.
then someone gets to take your fucking glory, which is out of order, or you can,
You seem
or you can take the load. Yeah. Which one is it?
it sounds like you're really keen on sucking a cock. You sound like you'd be really disappointed that someone stole your load.
No, it's not. It's
2021, mate. Come on.
I earned that.
I have to be honest. I would probably do the first part rather than take the load in. I can.
Yeah, I mean, like as you say, you know.
I mean, the other bit is just like having a. You know, you can forget you can close your eyes and think of it as a sausage.
Exactly. I mean, you know,
when it throws something at you,
we've all eaten a lot less things when we're drunk. Like, you know, we've all eaten a dirty kebab at 1 a.m. But you know, so to be honest, you know, having a cock in your mouth would be a treat compared to that. I just don't want that bit of just hearing a guy go "oh" at the end. Like,
XG4 says the first 90%. So he's up in that. He's up in that. XG4 says the first 90%. But surely you get jaw ache. At least with the last 10%, all it is a mucky face.
Yeah, but okay.
Right, so
I was gonna say you got a whole other add-on. Like, you know, is it a spray in the face or like? Because I mean, how do you explain that one? Like, yeah. Just, you know, okay. There's lots of caveats to this, and I like it.
You
Aaron.
can tell Simon's
like
I'm not going to do this anymore.
Claire Lou is asking, is dirty kebab a euphemism?
Is it a euphemism?
Usually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it depends. I'm sure there's lots of things I'd describe as a dirty kebab, but yeah, it is Claire. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. That's even worse because my wife's name's Claire. So,
and she's got a dirty kebab.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm hungry.
You want chili sauce on that?
God, you get me in so much trouble. I'm already in enough trouble because it's actually it's our 1 year wedding anniversary today. So yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you very much. But yeah, thank you.
Well done.
It's time for dirty kebabs.
What are you doing chatting to us bellends for then?
Shit, how do I get myself out of this on a recorded show?
It's like I'll be finished at 8, and then we can have the romance.
Yeah, that's it.
Look at it now. It's 9:15 now. What's going on?
I'm gonna have to find them blue tablets that I've kept aside, and I'll chop one of them down my neck and give her a good seeing to. So that'll make up for it, I reckon. So no flowers, none of that shit. Just a well, actually, no, sorry.
No flowers. Don't want to show her you care.
No, God, no. Why would I do that? I've married her, mate. I've done the work. So, yeah, thanks for getting me in trouble, guys. Thanks. It's a great way to end the show.
We can edit this. We can edit this.
You better do. I need this. I'm fucked. Yeah, shit. You really took me out my stride there. I was really going somewhere with this, and you fucked it. So thanks, Jim. Cool. No,
blame me.
I always blame you. So, always do. That's the way that this show works every week.
Just blame Jim. Yeah, if you want it to go into the gutter, just talk to me.
There you go. What a better way to end the show. That should be our slogan. Nathan, Chris, Aaron, man, it's been fucking sick. Thanks so much for coming and chatting with us, guys, man.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
This is
nice to see you again.
Awesome, man. It'd be awesome. So, and yeah, I hope you'll get to hang out soon and catch up for those beers we talked about. But yeah,
yes,
for sure. Like, try and keep in contact, man.
Yeah, definitely. Hit us up. Any questions you've got? Any any new music you want to share with us? Let us know. And
all the time, man. All the time, saying we'd love to have you back, man.
Do more of that. Are you with me? Shit.
More of that. Are you with me? Shit.
You're on to a winner.
Oh, thanks, man. Super appreciated. So we really appreciate the kind words. So yeah, cool, man. Yeah. Anyone who's watching,
keep
make sure
on thrashing.
Yeah, be sure to go hang out with the Shrapnel guys and yeah, support that new single that's due out sometime this year.
Yeah.
In May.
Sometime.
Is it May?
We have something soon.
Marchuary-ish.
We have something off the last
Marchuary.
and then we have a cover coming out.
Yes, we do have a cover coming out. Yeah.
Maybe this month. And then
is it Megadeth?
No, it's not Megadeth.
Oh, thanks.
Not. No.
We're not that good.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not.
It's a really easy.
We're doing one, aren't we?
Oh, maybe.
Shush. I mean, no, we're not. No one cares. No one cares, Sean. Like, no one cares.
No one
We're
does
not
care,
a record label. We don't have to be silent. Just so we can say what we like.
Yeah, but you got to build up the anticipation. You know what I mean? It's oh, Jim,
Yeah, but they
what do you
don't know
like?
what Megadeth. It could be off the first album.
See what happens
Make
when
me
Jim
edge.
gets drunk. Fucking hell.
Make me edge on Megadeth.
Our thing isn't label related or like any sort of constraint on us. It's just that we never know because we never decide.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I see.
So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, we have those moments.
Yeah.
We had a
It's
clear
not like
roadmap. There was a
It's not a
set.
hush hush thing. It's,
I was not.
yeah,
All right, okay. Shush,
Cool.
you got to make
We don't
yourself look bigger than you are.
We'll catch you guys soon.
See